Hello friends! Today is the day when we are going to cross the border and enter the European Union. For me, it's the first time since the before pandemic times, since I was in the EU, and back then Brian and I spent our vacation in Spain and Portugal. So currently we are still in Serbia. We are in the city of Novi Sad, and in just several hours we will be in Romania, in the beautiful city of Timișoara. Of course, if everything goes well. I am nervous, although I have all the documents ready. I have my European visa, although it was issued originally by Spain, but usually it doesn't matter at all. We printed all the documents. I specifically bought an insurance for the European Union, for Romania, in case the border officials ask for that. So we have our passports, we have our marriage certificates, just anything that could be needed. We just decided to overdo it just in case. And over the past 1.5 years, I've had a few pretty bad experiences when crossing the border. Actually, there were two of them. The first was when I left Russia and I was roughly interrogated at the border. And the second case was when Brian and I got ruthlessly extorted on the train at the border of Serbia and Montenegro. So we're extorted by officials. And if you're interested and you haven't watched those videos, I will link them down below and up there. So to calm myself down and to make it easier for me psychologically, I decided to document the whole experience so that we could remember it, Brian and I, and so that you can see. And while we are waiting, I want to give you a quick explanation of why we are leaving Serbia. Everything is simple. It's just because our 1-year visa is coming to an end in 2 or 3 days, and we are not prolonging it due to financial and bureaucratic reasons. And without the visa, I, with my Russian passport, can stay in the country of Serbia for whatever time period I want. I just need to do border runs every month. And Brian, with his American passport, can stay here only for 90 days within a half-year period. So that's why we have decided to become nomads again and to hop places as long as we can while we are securing our long-term plan. And we do have a long-term plan, although it takes time and a lot of efforts to bring to life. So that's why Romania has become our next destination, and I hope so much that we will be there today already. We just got the message that the car is already here downstairs, so we are going to load ourselves and our luggage in. We're done. In one of the villages named Žitište, we were shown a monument to Rocky Balboa, a boxer played by Sylvester Stallone. The actor knows about this statue too. As we were explained, there are many sport clubs, boxing clubs in this region, hence is the Rocky statue. The Lonely Planet Guide included the monument in its list of the top 10 most bizarre monuments on Earth. We have passed the Serbian border point pretty seamlessly and fast, but on the Romanian side the situation got tense. And obviously I couldn't film there. And not to over-explain, obviously they had some problems with my Russian passport. I cannot understand Romanian language, but I could clearly hear the Rusi thing, and also I saw the expression on their faces, and I was given a notice, a notification that I could be searched and interrogated for the purpose of safety. So I think it's a common procedure overall, but a friend who drove us actually said that he has never encountered anything like that, and he has drove people to and from Romania a lot, and he travels there himself, and he took people that were of very different nationalities. While they were checking my passport, my background through different databases, they asked questions about who I was, what I did for a living, what I did in Serbia, what I'm going to do in Romania, which is again a common procedure. And we have come here not just for tourist reason, but also to do some family research for Brian, and I will talk about it further on in future videos. So yeah, they asked Brian to show how much money he has on his bank account, as he is my husband and we have combined income. They also researched our accommodation. They called our Airbnb host, which is again, I think is common, but it's not done that frequently, and it was honestly the first time that we were asked to do that. Then at some point they asked me to go out of the car to get my fingerprints once again, although my fingerprints are already in the database, because when I was making Schengen visa they already took my fingerprints and they are all over the country, so I don't know, maybe they just wanted to make sure that I'm not a fraud. So yeah, the whole procedure took about 1.5 hours, maybe a bit more, and it was the longest time that either of us, Brian and me, had to be at the border being stopped for some investigation. Again, maybe it sounds like not that big of a deal, but it was stressful both for me and for Brian, and the officers were polite and they acted within their powers for sure. Interestingly, we also beginning to find it common that with regular folks like us, the reaction to our passport, like nationality combo, is that people get entertained. And the most common comment is like, oh wow, you are an interesting combo. But with some officials, we encounter a big deal of suspicion, especially given the fact that Brian has a Russian visa in his passport. So that's why we just encounter a lot of additional checks. I think this is the reason. But as you can see, and you will see, we are in Romania no matter what, and our adventure continues. So I was admitted across the border, and it's a small victory. Maybe it's just a common thing, but to me it feels like a victory, and we are very excited to explore this country further on. And I'm so glad that we had someone to drive us through the border, that we didn't book a tourist bus, because otherwise we most probably would be left at the border, because usually when there is a group of people traveling through the border and one person is having some additional checks which take time, that person is left at the border because no one wants to wait for them. So we were lucky to have our very kind and respectful and supportive person. So this is good luck, I think. And now we will go on with our day, with our first day in Romania, and I hope that your day or night are beautiful And thank you so much for going through this experience with me, dear friends. I hope that it was interesting. And big thanks to everyone who supports me on Patreon and other tipping platforms, because it's you who make this channel possible and who make this life adventure of mine possible. And for now, as always, be safe and keep your heart open. And I will see you soon. Пока-пока.